Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you haven't done these problems because you're in my class right now, or you haven't done these problems because you're in Bangladesh right now, pause the videos and do the problems. If you're at home doing tutorials, pause the video and do the problems. Then we're going to go over them. I'm not going to pause the video because it wouldn't matter if I paused the video right now. It wouldn't affect you or the people at home because they'd pause the video. I'd say, I'm pausing it, and they'd pause it, and it would still be the same thing. So if you're doing these at home, pause it, and we'll see how you did. All right, Zach had a good point here on the first problem where we have 25 multiplied by 10. We don't really need to estimate that now, do we? Because we have, well, obviously we know 25 times 10 is 250. I always like to think of 10 people gave me a quarter. Anytime I have 25s, I like to think of 10 people gave me a quarter. Makes my life easier. And so we have a 0 in this ones place. All I got to do is bring that down. Now I'm moving into the tens place. Y'all know your ones multiplications, I hope. If not, get out a multiplication chart and you can look at your ones multiplications. 110 times 5 ones is 5 tens. 110 times 2 tens is 200. And we should end up with 250. I don't have to add anything because all I did is move that 0 down. And then I'm starting in the tens place. And that's why my 5 goes in the tens place, because that's where I'm starting. And remember, as we go on to this, these problems you may see again. I'm just saying. So do that stuff situation. All right, now we have 93 and 86. These are called factors, 93 and 86. The answer is called a product. Factors and product. We talked about factors when we were talking about divisibility rules and prime and composite numbers. If you don't know your multiplication facts for 6, or if you don't know your multiplication facts for 8, this is when you use your multiplication chart and maybe practice learning them. I'm just saying. I mean, I know my multiplication facts for 3. That would be good. Y'all know your multiplication facts for 9 because you do some hand thing.
No, I don't know that.
Oh, well, somebody can teach you the hand thing. I don't know. All right, so we're starting in our ones place. Well, first we're going to estimate. And I'm just going to estimate how I want to estimate. You may estimate differently. But I'm going to say we have 90 times 90. And as I've told you before, I have zeros in the ones place, so I'm going to bring these 2 zeros down. And now all I have to know is 9 times 9, which I know is 81. My answers should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,100.
Whoa.
It's not going to be 8,100, but if you got an answer of 57,286, you've probably done something wrong. Always estimate first. Always estimate first. Don't get your answer and then round it. That's not called estimating. That's called rounding. Estimate first. Now I need to know my 6s. And class, what is 6 ones times 3 ones?
18.
18 ones. 18 ones is the same as saying 8 ones and 1 10. Now I have 6 ones times 9 tens is, anybody? 6 times 9? 54. But I have an extra 10 here, so that makes it 55. So 55 tens is the same as saying 5 hundreds and 5 tens. Okay? So what I just did is 93 times 6. And I got 558. Now I'm going to multiply 93 times 80. That should be 93. Now I'm going to multiply 93 times 80. Again, if you understand and you believe in me, you're only multiplying by one-digit numbers every single time, no matter how big the factors are. Don't freak out when we see multiplication. Don't freak out when we do multiplication with decimals. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to do the same thing. Trust me on this. All right, now I'm starting in the tens place because I'm starting with my 8. Did you have a question, Landry?
Isn't that one supposed to be 72?
This one?
No, the other one. Yeah.
This one?
The one that's 27.
Okay, I'll fix it when I get over there. All right, so now I'm multiplying. I have 8 tens times 3 ones. What's 8 times 3? 24. So I have 24 tens. As the same as saying 4 tens and 2 hundreds. Now I need to know my 8 times 9, which is
8 times 9 is 72.
72. So 72 plus 2 more is
74.
74. So 93 times 80 is 7,440. Again, we've talked about different ways to multiply. We've done some things, some number talks at the beginning, showing different ways to multiply. This is one where you break it apart, you make it like expanded form. You take one of your factors and make it in expanded form. Okay? So 86 becomes 6 and 80. And then the other factor stays the same. So I'm still multiplying by one-digit numbers. That is it. Now I have to find the sum of these two numbers. I have 8 ones. I have 5 tens plus 4 tens is 9 tens. 5 tens plus 4 tens is 9 tens. And I have 7 ones. Is it in the neighborhood of my estimate? Yes, it's in the neighborhood of my estimate. So that means unless I've made some sort of silly mistake, then I probably am doing all right. Now, Landry, you said this one was 72?
Yeah.
All right. If you're watching at home, go back and fix so we can do the same problem. Okay, 72. Now again, I'm going to estimate. I estimate before I do the problem. I'm changing 72 to 70. I'm changing 87 to 90. I have 2 zeros in my ones places. And then I have 9 times 7, which I know is 63. So my answer should be somewhere around 6,300. If you got an answer that's nowhere near 6,300, then you're probably cray-cray and need to fix it. You're probably cray-cray and need to fix it. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to multiply 72 times 7 and 72 times 80. Okay, I took my second factor and I expanded formed it. And then I just multiplied it one step at a time. And then I will add these two products together. If that makes it easier for you, do it. If it's easier for you. Okay, I don't care how you do it. Whatever's best for you. I need you to be able to get the right product. I don't care if you do it with the other methods that you may have learned. I just want you to get the correct product. The correct answer. This is one way to do it. You may have learned other ways to do it. There are videos that I've shared with you that show other ways to do it. All right, so we have 7 ones times 2 ones is 14 ones, or 4 ones and 1 10. 7 ones times 7 tens is 49. Plus I have one more 10, 50. So 72 times 7 should give us a product of 504. I've already regrouped that. I want to make sure I don't do the same thing again. Now, since the 8 is in the tens place, I am starting in the tens place. It's not because multiply, then drop a 0, and then do the little dance that you may have learned in the past. The reason behind it is because I'm starting in the tens place. So know that reason behind it. All right, I have 8 times 2 is 16, which means I have 6 tens and 100. 8 times 7 is
7 is 8 times what now? 8 times
56, plus the other that I regrouped, which would give me 57. So 72 times 80 is 5,760. Now I find the sum of these, and I get 4, I get 6, I get 12. Is that right? 12, and I get 6. So if we did everything right, and you often know that I do make mistakes, our answer would be 6,264. If I did everything right, these two products would add up to 6,264. Close to our estimate. It's not way far away from our estimate. I'm going to tell you, especially as we move into decimals, estimating's important. Because all you do when we're multiplying into decimal or by decimals is you do the same math and then you put the decimal point in the product. So estimation is very important when we're doing decimals. Boom shakalaka, peace out. God bless you, love you. Do something fun today. Please subscribe.